There are billions of stars in the Milky Way alone, and many of them are sun-like stars with an Earth-like planet around it. This means there should be billions of planets that have life, whether it be tiny microbes living near hydrothermal vents, or intelligent alien species that master faster than light travel. And yet, we have not seen any evidence of life so far, despite decades of searching and sending out radio signals. But that might be a good thing, as there is a phenomenon that might exist that, if it comes to fruition, could make finding intelligent life a sign of our impending demise. It's called the Great Filter. Now, before we get into what this cosmic filter is and what it can mean for us, I'd appreciate if you would like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay tuned for future content. Okay, so what exactly is the Great Filter? Well, it is essentially supposed to be something that impedes life from becoming a galactic civilization. The filter could be pretty much anywhere on this path, from the planet being in the right conditions to support life in the first place, all the way to the feasibility of traveling between star systems. The important thing to realize is that it's not really a filter, but more like an impenetrable wall. It should be nearly impossible for any planet to get past it. As a result, there are three big possibilities as to what this means for us. We're past the wall, we haven't reached it yet, or we're hitting it right now. Let's start with the first possibility, that we're already past it. In this case, we are one of only a handful of civilizations in the entire universe that has reached our intelligence level. This could be that Earth just had the perfect conditions for life to develop, or it could be something more recent, such as the evolution into multicellular life that happened with the Cambrian explosion half a billion years ago. A telling sign of this would be if we scoured thousands of planets across our section of the galaxy and found nothing more advanced than microbes. It would be disappointing to the people who just dreamed of meeting little green men at some point, but it would be for the better, as we would likely not be going extinct anytime soon. The second major possibility is that we haven't reached the filter yet. It's still ahead of us. In a way, this is a more likely scenario, as the filter is designed to be almost impossible to pass. In order for this to be the case, the filter could be one of two things: something that actually kills us as a species, or something that simply stops us from expanding. Both scenarios are plausible, as humanity has the capability to destroy Earth with nuclear warfare, while at the same time being basically clueless as to how to expand beyond our solar system. The only way we would know that this is the case is if we find dozens or even hundreds of other planets with life as advanced as us, but no further. Finding this exact situation would be very, very bad news, as could mean that our extinction is not only inevitable, but imminent. So, for our own sake, we had better hope that the filter simply stops us from reaching those other civilizations. So, we talked about the filter being behind us and ahead of us. But what if we're passing through it right now? This isn't as far-fetched as it may seem. The next 100 years have very high potential to lead to human extinction, not only for natural disasters, but for technology as well. It could be anything from Yellowstone deciding it needs to burp, to rogue AI, well, going rogue and destroying our species in the technological singularity. Current estimates peg the possibility of human extinction in the next 100 years being about 19%, which is anything but insignificant. And that doesn't even factor in the possibilities that might not lead to extinction, but could set us back a very long time as a species. It is generally accepted, however, that once we start colonizing other planets, we should be in good shape, since it would be much harder for things like pandemics and nuclear warfare to lead to extinction or even set us back. Thus, an argument can be made that we're right in the thick of the filter, and we won't be out of it until we set up a permanent Mars base. One last thing before I go. Who's to say that there's only one filter? It seems quite likely that there's not one big filter, but a series of smaller filters spread out across the path to galactic dominance. This could be observed by there being progressively smaller numbers of species as we go further up in intelligence. This makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint. After all, there are millions of species of bacteria on Earth, and only one species of human, so something similar could play out on a cosmic scale. This is further reinforced by the fact that humanity's chance of extinction in the next century is only 19%, as opposed to 99%, which supports a smaller and more porous filter. Again, we had better hope that it's either this or we're already past the filter, for the sake of the survival of our species. And that wraps up this video on a very terrifying possible solution to the Fermi paradox. As always, I'd appreciate if you would like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay tuned for future content. Thanks and have a great rest of your day.